My name's Bill Kulka. I retired from AMO. I sailed for Ford, Lafarge, Bay, Norton. Did 21 years on the car ferry Badger. And I graduated from Great Lakes Maritime in '85. To my knowledge, I was the last cadet ever to sail on the old JB Ford. And Leroy here has the vacuum lever of the triple expansion, which I had a picture of from 1984 when I was on it. Even signed my name to the lever. But yeah, the JB Ford was not your normal place for a cadet. First off, they didn't have any room. There was 4 of us and 2 bunk beds in what they call the doghouse up top there. The heating there was questionable. I was on there in October, November. JB stood for junk boat because it was. We did have a good cook. The food was good. We had a good younger crew on there. I can't remember who the captain was. I can't even remember the chief. I know it wasn't Roy Kloss, but it was. We had a good bunch of engineers there. I know we had a Jim Moore was second or first over there. He's from Cleveland, Avon Lake area. I was with him cadet on the Townsend, and somehow he ended up over there too. But the JB was slow. The Eaglehart would usually get the long runs. The JB would do Saginaw, Green Bay, maybe Milwaukee, St. Joe, Waukegan, but they didn't send her very far. I don't think we ever. I think we got down to Detroit, but we never went down to Toledo or Cleveland or down the Welland. Just wasn't going to happen. What else can I tell you about the JB? I was a Navy machinist, a pretty good welder and everything, and the chief had me weld some little brackets on the side in the engine room. He knew what he was doing, I didn't. Put down some beautiful welds, and he just got his chuckle on his face, took a hammer and whacked them, and it just fell right off. I don't know what the metal was, but he admitted nobody can weld to that stuff. For fun, let's see, I was told to mention this story. We came out of Green Bay, and mysteriously there was a pony keg of beer stuck out one of the portholes up forward with towels and everything packed tightly around it. So in October, November, a little cold spray and that, we had really good cold beer for the trip back to Alpena. I'm holding a picture here that I took. It actually shows the nice old brass gauge board, which has disappeared. It also shows this lever, which I actually did get to run when I was cadet. I got to play on the engine. You know, usually leaving, they didn't trust a cadet making the dock, but I still got some throttle time on her. I learned how to oil up a triple and feel bearings and stuff. And yes, I got my wrist slapped numerous times, but it came in handy when I ended up over at Bay Norton on the old J. Burton Ayers. You know, they're trying to explain to other engineers how to do this, and I just walked down and limp-handed. You just touch the bearings or the edge of the crank pins or whatever, and you can definitely tell if one's running warm. What else can I tell you about the JB? We got off and we took it to the floating dry dock in Sturgeon Bay. They bussed the entire crew back to Alpena, and we, for some reason, stopped at a party store up in Sturgeon Bay. By the time we got to the Wisconsin-Michigan line, pretty much everybody was ready to take a nap. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, then we got back to Alpena, and I drove back to Traverse City. So that was a long drive, one of the longer drives. So one of the few JB stories I remember. So hopefully somebody will get a chuckle out of this. Have a good one.